Ethereum. Why can't Ethereum break $4,000? Since the end of 2021, $4,000 is held as a really tough, sticky, nasty resistance point for Ethereum, with price getting rejected from it in March and May of 2024, then again in December of 2024, and basically again on the current rally. Question is, in today's video, I want to briefly discuss some of the reasons why this is happening, but more importantly, I want to talk about the factors that are leading to this and that could send ETH over this resistance level finally. I think we could be getting close. Famous last words like, but I think we could be getting close. Where we can expect ETH to go once the $4,000 sticky resistance level finally breaks the upside. So that's the plan for today. Let's dive straight in. So getting back to the why question. Here's 3 reasons why Ethereum has not been able to break $4,000 since 2021. Now, these are all fairly straightforward answers and they're kind of interrelated. Reason number 1, Ethereum has a lot more competition in the current cycle than it had in the last cycle. And realistically, Solana has been the golden child of this cycle and has outperformed ETH dramatically because more stuff's happening on Solana. So we have to remember that back when ETH started pumping in 2020 and into 2021, its main competitors were really only what? Polkadot, Cardano, and nobody still uses those after all these years. And now we had Avalanche and Solana come up during that time, and Terra Luna and stuff, but in terms of the old hat stuff. But those chains, you know, nobody really competed statistically, user base, all that kind of stuff with ETH. But long story short, Ethereum was really the only big game in town last cycle until Solana finally started doing something. Fast forward to this cycle and competition is a dime a dozen. You Solana, Avalanche, Algorand, Ejective, blah, 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 all these different things, right? I go on, but it's pretty simple. There's a lot more money chasing after competing smart contract layers. Now, ETH hasn't been able to break above 4K this cycle yet because a lot of capital has also been fragmented into countless other chains that really just didn't exist in a substantial way, at least with user base and hype and money flows 4 years ago. Reason number 2, ETH's technical issues, something we've discussed at great length on the channel. But before we get into that, guys, who is going to give you up to $1,299 cash back just for depositing crypto? That's Femex. Guys, if you're trading crypto coins, it's crazy to be able to anyone, anywhere. All you have to do, deposit $1,000, get $200 back. Deposit $10,000 to put $999 back in your account. $15K, that's $1,299 cash back. Insanity, no strings attached. And if that wasn't wild enough, they'll instantly upgrade you to VIP level 2, which means 50% off your spot trading fees, 40% off your futures trading fees. This is not some tiny bonus. This is a serious opportunity for active traders to save on fees and to get some insane bonuses for going and trying out Femex, okay? Stack rewards / costs, and Femex is a proven exchange, the OG cryptocurrency exchange. It works anywhere in the world. Some of you may require a VPN, but you can get it anywhere. Hit the link down below, claim your cash while it's still live. Go check it out. Thank you very much. Okay, so back to this ETH thing. Look, ETH's fees were way too high for way too long, okay? This created a market opportunity for other chains to enter into the space and take market share, which is exactly what Solana did. That then diverted capital away from Ethereum, as we just discussed. And reason number 3, of course, is that ETH's layer 2s have not been the net positive that initially they'd hoped to have been. In an effort to remedy the fee issues, Ethereum built out a huge network of layer 2s, which fragmented liquidity and fragmented attention and created bridges and all this other stuff. Now, while all the layer 2s might have helped to keep some of the capital within the larger Ethereum ecosystem, the layer 2s ultimately meant less money was flowing into actual Ethereum. So these 3 reasons, more competition, fees being too high, and a ton of ETH layer 2s, explain why the ETH chart has kind of looked like, well, like this, unfortunately. Now, turning to the present moment, what's it going to take for ETH to break 4K now? Now, let me be clear. I do think that ETH breaks 4K, and the factors, or fuel, if you will, have already been set in motion, and it's happening right now, and ETH is primed for some big things to happen. Here's what they are. I've got 5 for you. It's a list video, guys. Now, we're going to bang these out pretty quickly, though. First, Ethereum's high fee issue has largely been fixed and is being addressed with future upgrades as well. It'll continue to improve moving forward. Here's the evolution of ETH's fees from 2015 to present. The TLDR here is that ETH's fees have never been lower. It's good. They're still high compared to Solana, but okay, they're still cheap for ETH. And that's all largely due to the layer 2 ecosystems Base, Linea, all this kind of stuff, as well as the major upgrades that the protocol's developers have been able to pull off. With regards to upgrades, we're talking about stuff like Shapella in 2023, the Den Kun upgrade in 2024, and the Pectra upgrade in 2025. All of this has helped to make ETH's fees a little bit cheaper. And again, the fees should continue to fall further from here, with Vitalik coming out saying that they're dedicated to 10x scaling within the next year and getting up to 10,000 transactions per second within the next 10 years. A lot more upgrades are scheduled, are pending, and it's going to keep getting better on Ethereum. Now, combine the vastly improved fee situation with the second reason is that ETH still dominates the DeFi space. Ethereum right now holds 59% of DeFi total value locked, and that's after going through the kind of rough patch with the fees. Money kind of stayed on chain. So as the market continues to realize Ethereum's improved fee situation, there's a chance that they'll continue to be further motivated to return to home base, Ethereum, and give DeFi and dApp infrastructure more money. Also, there's more DeFi and dApps than on Ethereum than really anywhere else. So that's also a big positive for ETH. Reason number 3, ETH ETFs and ETH staking ETFs. Right now, Ethereum ETFs are pulling in some big money, averaging about 37 million per trading day on average. So it has some big outflow days, but been a lot of big inflow days too. Institutions, Wall Street continue to get exposure to the asset class and expect these numbers, of course, to continue as most of the current ETF issuers, BlackRock, Bitwise, Grayscale, 21 Shares, and others have applications in with the SEC right now to flip their ETH ETFs into ETH plus ETH staking ETFs, aka ETFs that will provide real yield for ETF holders. Fourth, Ethereum treasury companies. There's currently 13 publicly traded companies that have ETH on their balance sheets, and they're talking some serious numbers here, guys. The two most notable of these being Bitmine Immersion Technologies and Sharp Link Gaming, which I, by the way, own both of those, but they're the two biggest ones, and they are definitely stacking up ETH. We're talking billions of dollars here. So expect these companies to continue to keep stacking as they keep raising money and keep piling money into ETH. Fifth, the passage of the U.S. Genius Act. So the summary here is that on July 18th, the United States officially brought the stablecoins industry into the country's legal and financial system, which in effect should increase the stablecoin market cap from the hundreds of billions where it is currently to the trillions within the next 5 years, let's say. And that's, we already have big banks out here saying they're going to launch their own stablecoins. It's going to be massive. And what rails will these stablecoins run on? Bitcoin? Nope. The best recipient to take on most of this new business, of course, is Ethereum. Solana after that, by the way, of course. Don't count out Solana, guys, okay? But this is an Ethereum bull video, okay? Not a Solana bull video. Now, I want you to notice something. These 5 reasons I just gave for why Ethereum will break 4K, the fees getting fixed, the dominating DeFi's TVL, the ETFs piling money in, the treasury companies, and the Genius Act. 4 of these 5 things only started in our current cycle, and they were not happening in the last cycle, okay? And it's this realization that makes me think that we are going to see something like this play out on the charts sooner or later anyway. Hopefully sooner. Now, I want to wrap up the video here by making a few comments on how I see things kind of playing out from here in terms of price action for Ethereum. First, understand that Ethereum has been absolutely trapped under this multi-year descending resistance line since 2021. Yes, $4,000 has served as general resistance point, but from a more technical analysis perspective, what we're really seeing is this descending resistance line here that's currently coming in right around $3,950. So when we say $4,000, kind of a bit of a, not exactly 4K, it's like 4,200, then 4,100, then 4,000, 3,950 now. Now, at some point, this is going to break. I think that happens this year. There's a good possibility for it with everything lining up in the background. ETH will break the descending resistance line to the upside. It'll break 4K around the same time. So just understand, there's a trade to be had here on ETH. When you see ETH break this line, especially in high volumes, it's a great time to go long. If you believe it's going to be broken, then buying spot ETH Probably not a terrible trade either. Now, if you see ETH break above the line, come down to use it as support and then begin to go up again, that's also a great time to go long if you missed the initial breakout. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I released a longer analysis of where ETH could top this cycle, so take a look at that if you want more details with respect to ETH cycle tops, okay? But I'll just leave you at this point. When we break $3,950, $4,000, okay, we could see a brief consolidation or maybe even a slight pullback at ETH's prior all-time high at $4,800. So we could run straight from 4K to $4,800 like that, okay? The next price move from there is only the 1.618 Fibonacci level at $7,300. That's the price move I'm targeting. That's where the meat of the move is going to be. Because if we double from there to 15K at the 3.618 Fibonacci line, great, 100% gains, but ETH may not be the fast moving horse in that scenario. Now, just zooming out one more time. If you've been stressed that ETH can't break 4K, then in the words of Teddy, KGB from Rounders, have a listen.
Don't you worry, son. It will all be over soon.
Thanks for watching.